Hey everyone.
Welcome to our session about creating and maximizing your profiles on WikiTree. We are excited to talk to you about this. I'm excited. I'm sure Betsy's excited too
I am. Yeah.
because it's fun to talk about. Who doesn't love to talk about this stuff? Nobody, right?
Yeah, and just how to make the most of WikiTree.
Exactly. So, another WikiTreeer, Pam Cormac Smith, made a really great video for us about maximizing a profile. So, we are going to show that first. And then, just if you have questions, have them ready because we'll answer them. If you want to see how to create a profile, we can do that. If you want to see how to add a photo, if you want to see about categories and stickers, just be thinking about what you want us to do after this video, post it in the comments, and we will get to that after we watch, which hopefully we will do in just a second.
Thank you for joining me today, and our topic is how to maximize a profile. We'll be covering topics such as help pages, styles and standards, headings, sources, research notes, links, images, projects, categories, templates and stickers, get collaborative, tools, data fields and uncertainty, as well as free space pages. Best advice, though, I can give you is to explore and discover. You'll learn so much just by clicking around and testing things. A great place to start is the help pages. To find the help pages, hover your mouse over the little menu bar found at the top right of any WikiTree page over the word help. When the drop-down menu pops up, click the word help. A new page will load, taking you to category WikiTree help. At the top, it's linked to really great pages if you're new to WikiTree. I'd really suggest familiarizing yourself with those two pages. As you scroll down the page, you'll see it's got lots of different subcategories. Some of them I'd like to point out would be projects, images help, styles and standards, template, WikiTree tools and apps, DNA help, lots and lots of different things. At the top and at the bottom of the pages, you will find alphabetical letters where you can jump ahead to that letter or click the word next 200. Styles and standards. Because WikiTree is a one world collaborative family tree, having community agreed upon styles and standards helps to avoid any conflict. On your own profile, you are encouraged to be creative and try new things. But on shared ancestor profiles, we follow community guidelines. To locate the Styles and Standards guideline, navigate to the help pages and find it under S. Alternatively, you could hover your mouse over the word help on the little menu bar at the very top right. When the drop-down list pops up, click on the words Style Guide. Another really helpful page is the Style FAQ. Here you will find loads of helpful information and some great links. Another page I recommend reading is Why Does Grammar Style and Formatting Matter for Cousin Bait? Headings. Adding headings and subheadings to your profiles can really help to improve the aesthetics of a profile, as well as to assist in separating the text in such a way as to create sections. Editing the text in these sections is easier than it may seem at first. Most common formatting, such as italics, bold, and subheadings, can be done through the toolbar at the top of the editing box. An H2 heading begins and ends with two equal symbols on either side of the heading. An H3 heading has 3, and H4 has 4, and so forth and so forth. Here is an example where I have the required H2 heading, the birth, marriage, and children headings as H3, and the necessary H2 sources heading and the references tag. Let's preview that text. In the help pages, you will find editing tips. This is a fantastic page that I think you will want to check out. Every person profile requires the biography and sources H2 headings and the references tag. You can find that text in the right-hand column for easy copy and paste. Sources. We have this great tool that is a clickable link found at the bottom of the right-hand column of any open profiles. On the next page, you can log in using your WikiTree login details. Paste the profile ID into the box provided and click Load. You can edit these fields before clicking the website that you wish to search. Select which one from the options below, and you can edit which sites appear in this list by clicking More Sites. Here you can toggle between enabled or disabled. Citations, bullet list or inline. Bullet list. To display your sources in a bullet list, list them below the sources heading, starting each citation with a star symbol. This text will display like this. Inline citations. To create an inline citation, you would need to begin the citation with an opening ref tag, and then end the citation with a closed ref tag. Here's an example. This text will display like this. Remember, trees are not sources, but they are lovely additions to have in a See Also section. Named inline citations. They're a lot like inline citations. The only difference is that you're going to give it a name. When we create a name for a citation, generally 2 or 3 letters normally works quite well, or a combination of letters and numbers, but you won't be able to use just numbers. So 1, 2, 3 will result in an error message. Making use of named inline citations will allow you to use that same source within that same biography multiple times. Within your text, once you've created your citation and you've given it a name, you can now use that name in other places in that text to show that that source cites other facts as well. In this example here, you can see that I've used the reference name CD for my civil death and CEN 61 to refer to my census. For the census source, you can see I've used that to cite her residence in 1861, as well as her name and her birth date and location. And don't forget to end each citation with a closing ref. So in summary, what was ref, citation, closing ref in a named citation is ref name equals, give it a name, citation, and a closing tag. When you want to refer to that same source within the same bio, just type ref name equals e.g. / research notes. There are some great notes in the help page for research notes. Here you can see it's telling you that research notes goes between the biography and the sources heading. Another really helpful page is the research notes boxes, which you can find linked to here. There is lots of handy info on the research notes boxes page. I highly recommend checking this out. What makes great research notes? A need to highlight certain information, where you've looked for sources and where you haven't looked, common mistakes or myths, and theories, amongst loads of other reasons. If you use the first person voice, remember to sign and date your contribution. Links. Anne's favorite book was link, space, the text you want to display, all surrounded by opening and closing square brackets. When this displays, it will show just a clickable link. A great way to maximize a profile is to add photos. To add a photo to a profile, open the profile and click Images. Then click here to upload it. Select your file, paste or create your citation, add additional information, and click Upload Image. To add an image within a biography, you could add it to a free space profile. Open your free space profile, click Upload New Image, select your file, enter all the additional information, and click Upload Image. This page will load next. Go back to the profile you want to add it to, click ID, and paste that ID into your page. Don't forget to save changes. On the column on the right-hand side, copy one of the snippets of code from one of those boxes. My favorite is the bottom one. Paste that copied snippet of code inside the biography of your chosen profile. Don't forget to edit the caption. It will display like this. Do you want to remove the image from the right-hand column? Go back to the image page and click Remove from Image. Adding a background image to a profile. After adding the image to either a normal profile or a free space profile, you can copy the link and add it to any profile to create a background. In the edit page for this image, look for this. Set as background image. Copy that bit of text. Go back to the profile you wish to add the background image to, click Edit. Scroll down until you see this in the right-hand column. Paste that text in here. Add your change explanation and click Full Save. Projects. Projects are a great place to find things to add to a profile, such as links to sources, categories, stickers, information, templates. You can do that by hovering your mouse over the Find and then click Projects. This will take you to a page where the projects are listed and have clickable headings. Categories. There is a great categories help page under categorization in the help pages. You remember how to find those? Or categorization under C. When categories are added, you will find a box like this at the very bottom of the page, providing clickable links to more pages regarding those categories. Another page worth checking out is examples. Here you could pick up some suggestions on what to do next on your profiles. Another project worth checking out is the Categorization project. They have loads of ideas on what to do for categorization and how to do that. Click this link here, it will take you straight to that section on this page. Templates and stickers. Here in the help pages, click Templates or Stickers and see how the stickers look like on a profile. They do not need to all be up at the top. You can split them up depending on the headings you're using and where it might be relevant within that biography. Get collaborative. We have a wonderful G2G chat forum, definitely worth checking out. Hover your mouse over my WikiTree and you have 2 links to G2G feed or G2G profile. Search for your questions here and always remember the honor code. If you create a G2G post about a person, it'll show at the top of the right-hand column. To post a question in G2G about a specific profile, type a short question and press enter. Another page will load where you can select your category, type your question in detail into the box here, paste the URL into this box at the bottom, add great tags to alert people who are following those tags, and click Ask the Question. Tools. Under Find, click Apps. There are loads of great apps and extensions for you to read about in here. Some that I could suggest would be WikiTree Plus, WikiTree AGC, Family Search Matches, Root Search, WikiTree Sorcerer, and WikiTree Plus Extension, amongst so many others, whichever one interests you. It'll lead you to a new page that'll discuss a bit more about it and give you further instructions on what to do next. There are a lot more tools as well when you're on the profile that you're trying to research. Hover your mouse over the WikiTree ID. When the drop-down list appears, you can select your tools here. Some I could suggest would be merging tools, research, and suggestions. Data fields and uncertainty. It is always a good idea to make use of these extra boxes on the side. Under Help, select Help. And there are help pages here under U for uncertain. Free space profiles. In the help pages, you can find free space profile, and it's definitely worth checking out. What is a free space profile for? Well, they're anything pages. Family heirlooms, favorite pets, all kinds of different things. How to create a free space profile. Under Add, select New Thing. When the next page loads, give it a title. I usually try to avoid things like apostrophes, question marks, or commas. Add any additional information that you can to these boxes, such as surnames or tags, locations, start dates, text descriptions, and click Create. How to find your free space profiles. Under My WikiTree, you will find that in the drop-down list, click Watch List. When your watch list loads, click on Free Space Profiles. Linking to a free space page within a bio. Paste that link inside the relevant bio. Here's an example. Copy the link, go back to my profile, click Edit. Within the biography, I can now paste that link. I'm now going to click Preview so we can see what that looks like. See the link, add your changes, and click Full Save. I've decided I didn't like the look of the words that are displayed there, so I'm going to go back to the profile and I'm going to edit the text after the pipe. Anything after the pipe is fine. Scroll down, add my change, the explanation, and click Full Save. Now that looks a lot better.
What a great video. It really covered a lot in 18 minutes.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. So welcome everyone from me. I'm Betsy Coe, and now the rest of the time we'd like to unpack some of that for you. Whatever I saw that Amy had would like to learn more about categorization. Please put in the chat other things that that you're interested in. I can create a profile from scratch if you'd like. I'm ready to do that. We can learn how to post photos, stickers, backgrounds, categorization. So what are people interested in? We can start with categorization.
Let's start there.
Sure. So Pam showed one way to, oh, I need to share my screen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Present. Oh my goodness, I have too many tabs open. Okay, I found it. Okay, Pam did show one way to get to categorization. There's usually more than one way to get to a place on WikiTree, which is great. The way I like to do it is go to find, and then right there we have categories. So these are the very broadest areas. I think you're going to find locations related to categories often have to do with locations, birth, death locations. There are cemetery categories, occupation categories that are often extremely specific. I was able to categorize myself as a flutist, and my father is an obstetrician and gynecologist. I mean, it's really amazing the level of detail that you can find. So let's click on occupations just for an example. Furniture making occupations, athletes, aviation, publishing, potters, and then it's like the box that just keep finding more boxes inside of it.
Yeah, like those little China dolls.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. So we have, I don't know what Eowyn, do you know what a tile fettler is?
I have to say I do not.
Oh, look, a tile
What does it say?
trims edges of tiles and smooths out slight defects with a palette knife, also removes excess of glaze from tiles after dipping. So
now we know.
Yes, now we know. And so we see that finally we have gotten to the final area. We only have one person who's been profiled this way, but this is how, if you wanted to, for instance, see all the doctors who are profiled on WikiTree, you could go into this list and see who it is. Now, the interesting thing about, I'm going to go to Frances. You will see that you don't see anywhere on the profile that she is in this category. So it's mainly useful for someone going into search. However, if I go into edit mode, you'll see here that above the biography, we see what categories she's been put into. So maybe a birthplace and a death place. Let's see, where was she born? Born in Tunstall, and I'm not sure why the Smallthorn is there, but
Betsy,
yeah.
Are you clicking through her profile?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgot to. There. Can everybody see her profile?
No, now you're not sharing.
Now I'm not sharing. Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm going to answer Amy's question. She said, with so many options, how many categories should we use? Which are the more important ones we should use? There's not really a set number, but my opinion is add as many as you can. Categories are great, especially now we have where you can go to a category and see how you or someone else is connected to everyone in it. So categories are a really important part of being able to maximize WikiTree. So I say whatever you can think to categorize, go for it. If you're going to say important ones, I don't know what I would say for that. Birth and death places are popular. Locations are popular. Military is another popular one. Cemeteries, especially cemeteries, because like I was saying, once you go to the category, you can see how people are related. So you may find family in a cemetery that you didn't know you had.
Yeah. So now can everybody see the profile?
Now we can see.
Yeah. And I am in edit mode. So that's the time when you would be able to see the categories, but otherwise they are invisible on the profile itself.
They show down at the very bottom.
Oh, do they?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yep, scroll down.
Yes, there we go. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yep.
Okay. And let me just show, I'll go back into edit mode, and I'm not going to save this, but so if you're within a profile, you can wait, this is the one, so this will take you to the category field, and it does auto populate. One really useful purpose that categories serve for WikiTreeers is to flag profiles that need some work. And so, for instance, when we go to do a thon, then the projects, the teams will go to the category and see, oh, okay, here we need, there are breadcrumbs. We can go from here to create profiles, or this profile is unsourced. So, like, I'm not going to save this, but Scotland needs, well, it brings up all these things. Scotland needs birth records. And then that would appear on a list so that Scotland project people would know, okay, if we want to improve the tree, then we can work from this list. So that's another really important use for categories. And I'm not going to save that. Amy, does that help answer some of your questions?
Hopefully.
How are new categories? Oh, Emma's asking, how are new categories created? That's a good question, Eowyn. Does it have to be proposed like stickers?
No, there are some people who just are comfortable making categories. If you're not, you can ask in G2G for a category to be made. I think on the category, it's been a while since I've done this, but let me just look really quick. Because I think on the categories page, there might be a link for that. I know Chris is in the comments. If you know Chris, maybe you can say. I want to say there's a request.
Sort of, given what I know about how detailed categories can get, it's surprising that there's not a category for dental hygienists. Interesting.
Yeah, and it may be in a place that may not be expected. We've tried to have some structure with categories, and overall, the overall structure is fantastic, and it's been really great. But there's categories here and there that maybe aren't under the most logical place. And that's why it's good to. There's a category search on the categories page. You can always check before you make one or request one.
Yeah, absolutely. G2G, Chris says G2G is the way to go. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. What other, I might have missed some, Tabitha asks, is there a veterans category? I'm sure there is.
There are many.
Yeah. Yeah. Tabitha, have you gone exploring?
She said she found them.
Oh, good. Okay.
What else would you guys like to know about while we're here? Do you want to show how to add a photo? Because that's something
Sure.
that people ask about a lot.
Yeah, we get it. By the way, so Ewan and I do a new members Q&A at the beginning of every month, and it's always the first Thursday of each month, and then the Sunday right after. So we are doing one tomorrow if you want to join us. It's by Zoom. So if you just go to this G2G post, you can get the Zoom link. And the advantage to doing it by Zoom is you can really actively talk to us and explain. It's meant to be a hands-on, like you bring us your questions on a specific profile and we work through it on screen. So, but Aon's right. Someone always wants to know more about adding photos. So I have an uncle here who's.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Chris said we added the requested category link to profile edit pages. I thought it was somewhere. Let's see. You keep talking. I'll look for it, and we can show it after.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I'm going to go back to share my screen. And all right, I'm going to go. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's a profile for one of my uncles. I just created it last night, and I'm going to give him a photo. So I have this all, preset up on my desktop. So I go to images and click here to upload. And I want this one. Okay, once I have uploaded it, I'm just going to say it was scanned from family collection. Title. Just say Robert Coe at his younger son's wedding reception. This was in Minneapolis. And I am certain of that because I was there. And it was in 1994. And again, I'm certain. It is a photo of him as opposed to an image of something related to him. I know sometimes people will put photos of documents or of, say a headstone. So I can leave this as photo, and now I'm going to upload. So there it is. And I would like to make this his primary photo. And so as I go down here, I think that will do it. Okay, Let's go back to the profile and see. There it is. And let's see. I did also have another photo that is, let's see. I'm going to stop sharing. Ewan, did you want to finish the categorization thing while I get this other tab up?
Yeah, let me share. Yeah, so like Chris was saying, on the edit tab of the profile, if you scroll down on the right, under where it says how to add categories, right here, it says request a new category or advice. You can click on that and it'll take you to G2G, It already has the question ready. It has some suggested wording, and then you can get help setting it up, or someone, if it already exists, someone will find it and let you know.
Great. Okay, I'm ready to share my screen again.
Okay.
I see that Anna has a question. Now I can't see the question.
Oh, let's see. When you were doing that on the left-hand side, can you add tags of people?
Yes, and that actually is why I brought this one up. So everybody sees the two little boys. So this is that same uncle here, the smaller boy, with his older brother. And I had uploaded this to WikiTree quite a while ago as part of one of the weekly photo challenges. And I didn't have profiles for either uncle yet. So it just was sort of floating around in wiki space, WikiTree space. So WikiTree doesn't want to have duplicates of photos like, oh, well, here's the same photo on this profile and that profile and on a photo challenge. So you can see that it's right now it's linked to the photo challenge. I'm going to go down here and edit the image details. And here I can, I'm going to quickly grab their Co42. Okay, I'm going to add Co42. Can I add two, Eowyn, with a comma? Is that?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I'll
I think
do it.
you have to do them one at a time.
Or I can use this list.
You can use the list.
Yes. So this list here, there he is. And I don't know why I don't see my other uncle, who is Co43.
Is he already in the is he already added?
No, because I just created this profile last night. Well, okay. And I didn't. Co42 and save. Okay, I've got it for one. And then Co43. Okay, so now if I click over to the uncle where I just added a picture, now this also shows up.
Cool. And Chris clarified you can add more of the comma.
Oh, okay, good to know. Efficiency is always the way to go.
For sure.
Any other questions about photos?
I don't see any.
Steve asks, when are we going to change the featured photo on the main page?
That's a
lovely photo. It really is. It's so sweet.
It is a nice one.
Yeah.
Very touching. She says, I saw a P for Pinterest come up on the photo of the two guys when she added it.
That may just be because I have the Pinterest browser extension on my computer, so that whenever my computer sees a photo, it gives me that option to save it to one of my Pinterest pages. So.
Tabitha asked, how can we remove a photo?
So let's go back to here to the images. If I view edit, how do I?
So with the, go back up a little bit.
Yeah.
See where it lists the people in the. Okay.
Oh, I
No,
would.
down.
Uh-huh.
Go down a little bit. A little bit more. Right there. See
Remove.
where it says remove? Yes.
Yeah, you would just remove it from everything and everyone.
Yeah, if you want to remove one person from it, you can do it there. Just click the remove. If you want the entire photo to disappear from WikiTree, you have to remove it from everybody that's listed there.
And isn't it correct that it kind of it sort of hangs out in the cloud for a little bit and
It
then
takes a little bit for it to fully delete. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually have some photos where I'm not so pleased with the editing that I had done on them initially, and just kind of slapped them up there. And I would really like to re-put to make them nicer and put them up again. So I guess that would take a little while to do that.
Yeah. Anne asked if there's a limit on photos. There's not that I know of. The one thing I will say is WikiTree is not intended to be like your backup storage for your photos. So you don't want to upload every photo you've ever taken for a person and put it on WikiTree. Just the significant ones that highlight their life or that you want to share. Because kind of for the same reason why we don't want to upload a profile or the same photo to multiple profiles is it takes up space. So, we don't tell you can only have 5 or 10 or whatever, but also, we would not encourage uploading every photo you have.
Pick the most special.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can also use a photo as a background. And so going back to this, if I wanted to set this, now this particular photo wouldn't be great as a background image to the profile, just because there's not a lot going on in the borders. But I suppose I could just to show you what it would look like. If I set it at the back as the background for this uncle, set as background. Now I'm going to go here and, oh, it didn't work. Oh, Eowyn, do you think maybe I didn't change the...
Did you save the change?
I didn't save the change.
Yeah, gotta save the change.
All right, so do this again.
While you're doing that, a couple people have asked if other people can remove your photos or if you can remove photos that other people have uploaded. And the answer is you can, and they can. On open profiles. On the profiles where you can change things, then you can.
Interesting. It's still not working for me.
It is, but it's just what you see. You're right. It's not a great background photo.
Yeah.
Because what you're seeing is just the sides of the photo.
Right. I guess it's just yeah. But that brings up an interesting point about what other people can do with your photos. Like stickers would be the same thing. We don't want now in your own personal profile, you can have as many stickers as you want to display your personality and your accomplishments. But when you're working on an ancestor's profile, you would want to limit it to 3, 5 at the most, really to highlight prominent things about that person. So, and someone could go in and remove it. At that point, it's probably a good idea to communicate, just about, the feelings and reasons behind that. What if it says protected image? Tabitha, do you mean like a protected profile? Or because Eowyn, I don't think we have protected images, do we? No.
I was going to show one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I can bump you for a second.
Yep.
Let me, oops, I got to move this over here. One sec. Multiple browsers. Okay. Someone asked how you can put an image into the profile instead of just on the side. If you go to the profile edit page and you scroll down here on the right, it shows you how to do that. It has text right here that you can copy and paste right into the edit screen on the profile, and then it'll show in the biography section. So that's how you would do that.
Yeah, and now in the chat we're talking about copyright and permissions, and that's a real. I'm so glad that has come up. But before I say that, I just want to say, Eowyn, that is an adorable picture.
Oh, thank you.
With regard to permission, yes, everything has to be copyright or not copyrighted, or you have to have the rights to the picture. I think we've all run into the experience where we see a fantastic picture on Ancestry that belongs to somebody else, that somebody else has posted. And my practice there is I just send a message to the user and I explain I'm working on the same person's profile in WikiTree. I give them the link so that they can go check it out. And then I say, may I have your permission to use your photo on this webpage? And when they respond, no one's ever said no. And when they, and sometimes they don't respond, which is too bad. But when I get a yes, then I would say in that description box where it said scan from family collection, I would instead say used with permission of Ancestry user and whatever their name is. Tabitha says, I took over a profile and was trying to remove an image somebody else put on. It said protected image. Oh,
I don't know just from reading that exactly what you are talking about, Tabitha. But if it's still an issue and you want to email me, I can look at the profile because just by reading, I'm not sure exactly what the issue might be.
Anne has a great question. If her photo is colorized from black and white, does that need to be sourced or credited, I guess?
I mean, me personally, if someone else colorized it for me, I would include that just to acknowledge that was their work.
Yeah.
If I did it myself, I don't necessarily think I would.
Yeah.
So, if it's your photo that you possess and you alter it, I don't like we all do that. We crop it, we filter it, or yeah, that's okay if it's your image. What else? We have 7 or 8 more minutes. We're here. You can really ask questions about anything about WikiTree. Did Betsy no, Betsy did not freeze.
No, I'm here. I'm just looking up above to see if we missed any questions. Susan, I don't think we addressed Susan's question. Are census record categories being streamlined or having their names given similar formats so that missing census categories can be added? Do we?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer for that. That would be a really great one to ask in G2G. And people who are working on those categories or from the project would be able to answer that better. Most of the category structures are works in progress. And a lot of times things get added just as needed, and it may be I don't know if we've ever really proposed a structure for census records, so that may be something that needs to be proposed and decided on with the community. So that's a really good one to ask in G2G.
I noticed that in Pam's video, she had a brief shot of a page, the Categorization project, right? Is that something that they would, Susan's question, is that something that they would address?
Yeah, yes and no. Right now, the categorization project is not in limbo, but it's a little bare bones at the moment. So they would be able to help, help create a proposal. If Susan wanted to make the proposal, or probably for that sort of thing, it would take several members probably to talk out like what would be the best way to do that. And the categorization project would help for sure. There's sort of a process that it goes through that they could help walk whoever was interested in that through. Do you have a favorite profile? Stephen Greenwood is asking.
Do I have a favorite profile?
Yeah.
Well, sure. I guess I could, let's see if I could quickly find it. I know I'm not screen sharing. I'm finding it first. And my training tools and, okay. All right, I'm ready to screen share. Okay. So this is a profile of one of my great grandmothers. And it's special to me because I actually got to go to England this past summer, and I spent a week in Bristol, which was the area where she grew up outside of the city, north, and I stayed in an Airbnb that was like a mile. I could walk
cool.
to a little village, yes, which is called Littleton upon Severn. And I when I came home, I did a lot of research. She had 9 siblings through her mother, and then her mother sadly passed away, and her father remarried, and she had 4 more half siblings. Wow. So I've documented all of them.
Wow.
And there's nothing like going to a place, because this is, I don't know if you can see, there's a river in the background here. This is the River Severn, and Wales is on the other side. So I didn't really appreciate until I was like standing in this churchyard looking across the river, what a huge part of life that was. And when she got married to my to her husband, they moved across the river to Wales, and their first few children were born in Cardiff. And then I love this little.
That's a great picture.
Yeah, I mean, except for the electricity line.
Yeah.
Just know that. But, I mean, it was so untouched.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Like one of those little towns where if you blink, you missed it.
It's a great profile.
Thank you. And one of my second cousins just let me know. He forwarded me an article that he found on Find My Past, where it was something she wrote into the newspaper when she was like 75, and it was talking about a day she remembered when she was 15, where she and her brother walked to Bristol, 13 miles, to go see some famous woman swimmer.
Yeah.
So anyway, she was like recollecting this in the newspaper. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'll have to add that. Eowyn, your turn.
Oh, I'm gonna skip me because I wanted to answer. Let me find where he asked. Jim asked, can I post a screenshot of an obituary from a 1910 newspaper to your profile? Is it considered copyrighted? It's just copyrights are tricky. Even if it's after a certain year, the company, like Chris was saying, the company who scanned the newspaper may claim a copyright. And so you kind of want to go with, Chris said, almost anything from family search records is okay to upload to WikiTree. If you find it on another site, it's probably not. So it's good to just be cautious about what you upload.
What about Chronicling America? I thought that was a free site.
I am not sure about that one. I would say you would need to read their terms of service,
yeah,
and see what they say for that. Because every site has their own statements on that too.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Steve says, well, people are asking, what about an obit you have in your possession? And Chronicling America is Library of Congress, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say yes or no one way or the other. I'm just going to say check and see what they say, because every site is different, and I don't want to say and then be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, Stephen.
Sounds like a G question.
Stephen, here's one of my favorite profiles, but I'm a little bit biased about this one, which I did a little work on, but a lot of people have worked on it. And of course, it's Tolkien, because Awen.
Yes.
And it's a great profile. It has the stickers too. This is a good example of profile too.
In the background at Awen, I was going to show this as an example of a very cool background. This is my list.
Yes, so this one has a cool background that you can actually see. Yeah, and then they have a signature, which I think is super cool, and all the sources. So that's one of my favorite profiles.
Nice. What does FRSL stand for?
That's a good question. Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Appropriate for Tolkien.
For sure.
Well, that is about all the time we have for this one. So, Betsy, thank you. Great job as always.
Thank you to you.
Sure. And thanks to Pam Cormac Smith for making that great video that we showed at the beginning. And there's stuff still happening. Let me just check. We've got using WikiTree. No, wait, that was now. I have to do time differences. One name studies with Amy and Azure. And then the WikiTree Day wrap-up is in half an hour. I can't believe it's already over.
Wow. And bingo, John Tyner says.
And bingo. Don't miss the last bingo.
Last chance to win a shirt.
So thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming. Have a good night.